Okay, this is the paperwork my buddy sent me from GM. There's the campaign or article number, water leak in the capacitor department from exterior mirrors, apply body sealer. I just chose a really heavy duty silicone sealer that we use for like oil pans and things like that because it's resistant to everything. And there's a datum pin, which I showed you in the video previous to this, that goes through there, a little plastic pin. You got to seal them around one side and the other, they say. But my buddy's been saying they've had really good success with just sealing really heavily around one side and then around the bolt and around the connector as well that goes into the mirror. Verify the water leak is coming from the mirror data pin, usually watermark trail from the visible by datum pin. I would just do it anyway. I do not use sealer that will harden over time. I used it because this vehicle it's a used vehicle and we don't want to put a lot of money into it, and what it'll do is it'll secure that wire and it'll stop it from bouncing around as well. So the chances of that wire ever corroding or going bad are slim to none. It's just going to be the next technician that pulls that wire out. He's going to have a heck of a time. He's going to have to peel that silicone and stuff back and remove the front door trim panel from so that's where they were saying you remove it so you can get to the other side, but I don't really have to do that. And then seal around the datum pin on one side and on the other side. So there's that little plastic pin they were talking about, the guide pin. And here's the sealer they want you to use. It's a GM sealer, C9809. It applies sealer to both sides and it pays 1 hour to do the job. So there you go. Okay, there it is, put back in. All I did was just take a small flat blade screwdriver and help myself push it down. Slipped it up underneath that. Okay, my buddy at GM sent me the directions. He said you also need to seal around that little plastic guide pin right there. He said that datum pin that goes through there. He said really what you should do is take off the door and take the mirror off completely. There's a Torx up here. It looks like a T20 or T25, and there's another one underneath it. And then there's a 10 mil right here. I just pulled a 10 mil out. He said, but you can get by with just putting it around the outside of that datum pin. And he said just on personal preference, he said I'd go ahead and throw a little bit of a seal around the bolt as well, and that just secures it even more. This is just a black silicone that we use for sealing oil pans. I had a little bit extra, but just regular clear silicone will work as well. The reason I'm using black is because it's black trim and it just seems to fit better. He said we seal around the connector, we seal around the datum pin, and we seal around that, but the directions say you just really have to do the datum pin inside and out. But he said we just do it all. It's just better that way.